Good evening, and I'm the last speaker. So I'll try to make it on points and the subject that I would like to raise after I was listening to a lot of knowledge that was brought here with some ideas. By the way, my career in the IDF started more than 35 years in the artillery corps. So this is my basic, and not in the ministries with the lights and all these kind of things. I would like to start to say that this conference is talking about UNRWA, and at the end, everybody touched Gaza as it is UNRWA. I heard a little bit about the West Bank, and it was mentioned also, I think, by you, that we have the block of UNRWA is in Lebanon, in Syria, and in Jordan, and we have to see also above all this kind of complex. Because if you look, if I was listening to some of the earlier speakers, they spoke about policy. At the end, they came to even to the security decision makers that influence the cabinet to decide such and such a thing that was something like balance and not under, maybe I can translate it to victory. And also from the bottom up, you see it as the same. I would like to say that in my opinion, we are under all the time making assessments according to the change in the region. When I got my mission as the COGAT at 2009, it was different then at 2011, I think quite different 2014, and today. And I come to the end of the story. You have to be, at the end, realistic. You have to be, at the end, to judge between urgent and importance. And this is the thing, you have all the time to take the decisions according to what's going around you. I want to point that we are sitting here and look in a different way to influence, in my opinion, because one change of parameter that made the change with UNRWA, and it is the United States. The change in the United States policy by reducing UNRWA budget, when it comes now, give us a lot of opportunities in one end to change something with UNRWA and also to touch what it was discussed here before, and it means the right for return, that this is not UNRWA. This is something that UNRWA is represented in the front. This is the reason by not for the coming 1, 2, 3 years will not be any kind of solution for two-state solution, maybe not at all, because there is no one Palestinian leader, especially Abu Mazen, which I have with him 4 eyes experience for many hours, who will never leave this place with a legacy that he will be the first Palestinian leader who give the meaning of the right for return as the symbol, and UNRWA is the operator for it. And this is also the difference between the political decision makers in Israel to the level of the security. We are a democratic country. We can assess, suggest, but we are not a way of the one who was belong to the security corps that are bringing the policy. There is a strong cabinet. During many years, there was not foolish people here who sitting and decide where decision makers. And we asked, in my time, many years, from Obama's people, to reduce UNRWA's money. They didn't do it. They refused to do it. Do you accept that from the donors the EU will do it? Or Canadian? Or Qatar? Of course you know the answer. So we have to use this opportunity of a window time to make, and I would like to make it loudly, to try to break a little bit the meaning of the right of return by the way that it will not be the results now, but in the day after Abu Mazen, in a way that it will touch some, let's say, corners and things. Look, the Palestinians are shocked by the American policy today with the embassy to Jerusalem and with other things. And the issue with UNRWA is something that just joined to these efforts. So let's not be behind UNRWA as the point that prevents us from achieving agreement. We can do a lot with them. Secondly, I said about the change between urgent and importance, and that's brought us to some opportunities with my experience that we were in some kind of trap. And at the end, if there was not Gaza, we could say that we can close UNRWA yesterday, that besides Gaza, and there is no today from the security point, even it's not touch the UNRWA goal, other kind of organization that can fulfill today the Israeli policy towards Gaza. And I'm talking about, I cannot divide between Gaza and the main threat that is coming from the north. We have to look of everything today of one package, more than anything else. And the urgent that we are talking about, because of the situation that I say it's opportunity with a window time, I think that in the last 6 years, we are in a process of changing with UNRWA with a lot of success. The UNRWA damage to us was 2 points, mainly of the delegitimation that they were the front to make damage to Israel in many places, the United Nations, and the only country that could control it, as I said, is the United States. Secondly, is the local generations that caused, it's the picture that today you saw the murderer in the street, the terror period that we faced, it is a part of it for the incitement, for what they are doing. But on the other end, you might understand and maybe agree with me, this is my opinion today, I'm not in the IDF. Israel should not get back into Gaza to take responsibility for the civil life. In such occasion with Hamas and the way we coordination and cooperation, I can say they are not my friends, but we have censor with all the damage they are doing, censor, but because there is no alternatives today better than, if you gave me the opportunity that US aid will be tomorrow instead of them, I will take it and support it even. But there is no other alternative to give us the touch, the help to understand, to fulfill the goals, to fight against terrorism inside Gaza without losing it by breaking in some events of civil. It's Israel, it's not Syria here, that they are breaking sometimes. Look what happened in Lebanon. In some occasions when we had mistakes with civil, that also stop us from attacking and fulfill and to really to get victory. So when I come to the solution, by the way, one of the problems of UNRWA tactical is the period of time people are doing their job. They become more Palestinians than the Palestinians. There was mentioned here John King. He was in my time. It was terrible, but I decided to start to talk with him, to know who is the guy. But after 2 years, he moved from the region. He was moved because of the policy that we, Foreign Affairs, and everybody, by the way, making mistakes, Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Defense demand from the cabinet to move this guide. And UNRWA had already some sensors to understand they are going to lose power in the region, and he was moved, and the others start to cooperate with us, not friends. But this was the situation, the reality in the field. The last point, I'm saying, the last point that if you ask me today, what is the plan not for tomorrow, but for the coming years under Trump policy that he is giving a very strong umbrella to this situation, if you ask me, is first of all, the bloc of Syria and Lebanon should move under to find the way how to say it, because if you are coming to Arab countries and say move it, UNRWA is not the responsible for refugees, it will be immediately stopped. Not because they against it, because the street will be there terrible for them. So to find a way to move this block under the UN regular refugees organization that is support. In Jordan, you have to build a tailor-made. Jordan refugees, the Palestinians, the balance of this country is much more important for all. This is the goalkeeper for Israel in some ideas, to make it in a way that it will not damage the kingdom. The third, that I was claiming my job, in the West Bank should not be any leg of UNRWA, not today, yesterday. It must be moved under the responsibility of the PA. And Gaza, with or without agree, it's not anymore Palestinian one block. It's more and more become two blocks. Gaza has to be looked in a different way towards Egypt, towards the other direction. It is a risk border, and as it serves the urgent thing of security, UNRWA should stay there in a different way, but it's still for us, giving us the time, when time is coming, not to make a disaster faster than it looks today, and secondly, under security operation, it gave us the opportunity to maneuver and to know exactly how to do. I just will finish that in my headquarters inside Gaza, there was a room to UNRWA to give us feedback what's going in Egypt, in Gaza. Egypt is, you know, the Freud issue. But it is the new thing that this is my roadmap for the issue with UNRWA. Thank you.